difficult Champions League campaign? How do you try and put it into words?
Well, same as you did, very difficult, very disappointing, of course. The campaign we had in Europe with a lot of big losses. So that's disappointing for us. It started really well with two good ties. We played against Union and PSV and qualified for Champions League. But after playing 6 games, you can see the difference in level and against the teams we competed. And so that was very difficult for us to get results.
And it's the worst ever Champions League campaign. Does that make it? Is it embarrassing? Is it difficult to take, or do you understand that's the gap that there is there?
Well, it's always difficult. Of course, the gap is there, but you don't want to concede so many goals against you. And if you see, the goals we conceded in many games in this campaign, it was too much, especially at home against Liverpool. Against teams, from the highest quality, and we struggled in those moments. And it's a big learning experience for us.
A big learning curve, Gio. Can you put your finger on where it went wrong? Anything particular that you're disappointed with as manager?
Well, I've competed in this competition. I won the competition, so I know the other side. When you're the team who comes on the pitch and already knows you're gonna win because of the difference. And that's the other side. Now I face the side of the team. He's not on the same level yet, and we struggled in that. Against Liverpool, against Ajax, against Napoli, all those teams. Teams who are operating in this league for years now, and not only operating but also playing finals, winning Champions League, and that's been hard for us.
What would you say to the supporters? They've seen the team play 6, lose 6, score 2, lose 22. What would you say to the fans tonight?
Well, the same I say to you. It's very disappointing. We were all happy that we came in Champions League because we weren't competing in this level for 12 years. So that's very positive. But the other side is we're facing so many good teams, and so for us that's the learning point. Of course we want to be involved again less next year, but then we have to do better than we did this season. It's been hard, so also today, and those are facts.
Giovanni, the captain has just said that the team lacked fight, especially in the first half. Certainly from a Rangers fans' point of view, the way that the team has been starting games in the last few weeks has been unacceptable to them. How would you respond to that, and especially when you look at the way the team started the game on Saturday? There seemed to be a lot more urgency than we've seen tonight.
Yeah, but it's a different level. This is a team who are used to giving the pressure. They are used, to avoid high press with their movements. It's not a team, that is just operate on the Champions League for the first time. It's a very, we know the Ajax school. We know how comfortable they are with the ball, and they showed it as well today. And I think we tried to press up high, but you could see, we were also, there was a big difference in freshness. They didn't have a game on the weekend. They had 6 days, to prepare for this game, and we had only 2 days. So that difference you saw also today. So that's not only football-wise, but physically as well. Especially, of course, with some changes we had to do, when we played on Saturday. So, that's for everyone to see.
Giovanni, it's been a difficult campaign. Do you feel that if you are to reach the group stage again next season or in the next couple of seasons, that these experiences will help you, even though it has been very difficult?
Well, of course, you hope that, because as I said, it's the first time for many of my players to even play in Champions League. So that's also different. They're not used to the level of opponents to play in such a short period. Also because of the World Cup. Also the run of games. I think we played in game 24 already from the season. Of course, the injuries don't help because we need to have changes. Of course, we miss a lot of players, but you know, as you play for Rangers, you know, whenever you're on a pitch, you are expected to get results, and that's been really hard for us in Europe.
You talk about
Giovanni,
the experience your players have gained. Would you say there's any other positives to take out of this campaign?
Well, the positive is that we operated on the highest level after so many years. That's positive, but you know, it's also facts that we are competing on such a level. It's been hard for us.
Giovanni, in the last 4 matches, Rangers have conceded 5 goals with balls down the right-hand side in between the right back and the central defender. Is it a concern that teams seem to be targeting that particular area, and what can you do to try and improve in that particular part of the game?
Well, we need to, you know, be better, because every time, you know, you're not in the right positions, and you're not, you know, you're going to struggle against any team, and that's what we have to learn. We have to be better at, and so that's, you know, for us, it's every game we have to learn and take that to the next game. So for us, the most important thing is to bounce back on Sunday.
Gio, you've talked correctly about levels and the lessons that you've learned over the last few months. Now that it's over, in retrospect, the club should have done more to strengthen in that week before the transfer window to provide you with more options to deal with this level of opposition.
Well, I mean, it's, of course, I know that the club will do everything to, you know, to try to build the strongest squad we have. You know, I've read many stories that we struck gold, you know, with so many millions coming in. It's not true. You know, I think that it's not true, all the figures I see in papers. We don't have that budget to spend, and so that's another thing that's, you know, also we saw in the beginning that we played Champions League, so now we have 40 million extra. You know, those are not true, and that creates of course, you know, an expectation of we can buy new players. But you know, I think the way we bought the players this season is to qualify for Champions League, but I don't think that the club will spend millions if the millions aren't there.
Can you work with this group, Reggie? Are you confident you can work with this group to get them to the level that you can be competitive here?
Of course, you know, I work with this group to try to make it better, but you know, it's to be competitive in Champions League. You know, you have to have. It's not a team who can operate in Champions League. That's what we saw this campaign. So now we have to switch back to the league and try to win the trophies we are still involved in. And you know, Europe for us this season is over.
Giovanni, the injury list is substantial. There's 10 first team players out, all arguably key players. You've never once sat and used it as an excuse or asked, you know, for a wee bit of realism. Does there need to be a realism from the supporters? I know it's a difficult campaign, but the injury list is so substantial and it's already such a high level. Is there a bit of calm needed in response to what we've seen?
It's not to me to decide. I will never have used any excuse so
You never
far,
have, in
and
fairness.
I will never use it. It's the players I have in my squad, and of course, you know, there's a whole squad not able to be played, but I will never use it as an excuse. My job is to coach the team, coach the players who are available, and that's my job. I cannot, you know, of course, I don't like that we have so many injuries, but you know, they are not able for me to field, so that's why I concentrate on the players I have.
Gio, goedenavond. Hoe pijnlijk is het voor jou dat je nu wordt uitgejouwd met je team door dezelfde fans die ook op handen hebben gedragen?
Nou ja, kijk, het is natuurlijk, je weet hoe het gaat in het voetbal. We hebben natuurlijk een geweldig Europees seizoen gehad vorig jaar, met die finale in Sevilla, waar we eigenlijk door 1 penalty de beker niet wonnen. Voor het eerst in jaren gekwalificeerd in de Champions League. Ja, dan is het verwachtingspatroon hier dat we ook in de Champions League gaan meedraaien, maar de realiteit is anders. En dat hebben we gezien in alle wedstrijden die we gespeeld hebben. Dus dat is de realiteit. En dan weet je in een club, een grote club als Rangers is, dat dat de fans niet blij zijn. En dat is, you know, dat is voor ons natuurlijk ja, niet leuk. Maar ja, het is hoe het is. We moeten door, we moeten streep zetten onder de Champions League dit seizoen. En door in de competitie en de bekers waar je me nog in zit.
Succes.
So, how painful is it that people are angry about this? Well, you know what it's like in football. Last year we had a very good year. The reality is different. You know that it's not a good thing to feel, but we need to carry on and we need to put a line under this situation.
Last one.
Ja. Giovanni, wat heb je je spelers net verteld in de kleedkamer?
Nou, natuurlijk teleurstellend. Eigenlijk een teleurstellend de wedstrijd. Ik denk dat het de enige tijd dat we dachten dat we nog iets konden behalen vandaag was de laatste 10 minuten. Waar je een grote kans krijgt met Morelos. Je maakt een penalty. En eigenlijk hoop je dan nog één kans te forceren om in ieder geval nog een puntje te halen. En zeker het moment dat we de bal winnen en de bal gelijk weer verspelen, zie je het verschil. Hoe snel zij in de omschakeling zijn en wij op dat moment, waardoor we de 3-1 maakten. Maar uiteindelijk ook heel snel een einde gemaakt aan het Europese seizoen, omdat wij nu weer moeten doorschakelen naar de competitiezondag. En dat hebben we ook na de wedstrijd gelijk gedaan.
So it was a disappointing match, and the only time was that we had some sort of hope was in the last 10 minutes that we still had a chance to get one more little point. But this was a very, very fast end to the European adventure.
Very last one for Mark.
Gio, you've said in the past that you wouldn't compromise your footballing philosophy, but say we came to the same position next year where you were drawn in a Champions League group with 3 very powerful teams. Do you think that you might approach it in a different way in consultation with your staff?
I don't know. It depends. Next year I think we always try to prepare the players with the tactics, that they can perform in. I don't think we change any tactics with the season last year in Europe, but the difference is the level. We played fantastic against Liverpool for 45 minutes. So there's nothing wrong with the tactics. We played really well 65 minutes against Napoli, where we were the better team. We didn't hear anything about the tactics. But yeah, the problem in Europe in Champions League is you have your tactics right for 90 minutes. The moment you slip up, then you don't do the tactics, and then you create, difficult moments for yourself. They will punish you. They will punish you big time, and that's the main difference between Champions League and Europa League. And so the most important thing next year is that we are competing for 90 minutes and not for 65 or 55 or 45. It's always 90 minutes.
Thank you, everyone.